Hello guys, I'm so happy to be here before you today again with another wonderful video. You know, recently there has been a lot of talk about the Israeli and Palestinian war going on in the Middle East today. And this has become very, very catastrophic, most especially for the Palestinians, because everywhere things are just not going too well for the Palestinians. A lot of killings happening here and there. However, we know how the whole thing started. It's been very, very deadly recently, seeing all of that on the media. So, we're actually going to be talking about that today because a lot of Christian preachers have gone out there on air and they're talking about it. So, a lot are in support of Israel. A lot of Christians today hold Israel in high esteem as the people of God, just as the Bible referred to them back in the Old Testament. So, today we're going to be talking about that. I bet you're going to enjoy this video. So for us to be able to go into the video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you get other cooler videos just like this one on this channel. We produce content every day. Don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section below so that I'll get to see your thoughts and also respond to them if there is any need I should do that. All right, thank you so much. Let's hop into the video.
I want to ask about the end time because the war in Israel and Hamas and all happening in the Middle East. So a lot of believers have come up with a lot of things that the world is ending, the Israel is going to be attacked and all that. And I have read the Bible. I've not seen the timetable they always refer to, maybe Book of Daniel or Revelation. This will happen, this will happen, this will happen. So I want to confirm if you have read such thing. And
even me, I have not seen that timetable. No. I'm telling you, I'm looking for that timetable. I can't see the timetable. But let me quickly respond to you. That is the danger of eschatology independent of Christology. That's the danger. And a lot of big American preachers are caught in that web. And they are the proponents of that nonsense. It's total rubbish. They are caught in it because many of their Bible schools, they do eschatology without Christology. And when you are doing eschatology without Christology, you must have a landing ground. See, every branch of theology must have a landing ground. If there's no landing ground, your theology will not go home. It will be lost. So you must have a landing ground. So since they don't know Christ as the explanation of all things, they now use Israel as the explanation of all things, without understanding that there's no more Jew or Gentile, that Jesus has ended the importance of Israel. Israel now is not an important nation in the scheme of God's plan, because Jesus ended it. They were used in the Old Testament as a pattern because Jesus couldn't have landed everywhere. He had to land somewhere and from there reach the world. Unfortunately, he landed in Israel. So Israel became the pattern tribe that God used in his example to speak his plan to the world. But Israel didn't embrace him. So when he was through with them, he shut the door and opened to the Gentiles who embraced him. So there's no more Israel as an important nation in the plan of God. So if their theology, their eschatology had landed on Christology, that calendar, they will not use it. That Israel as a sign of the end time, they will not use it. I don't know if you understand. So that's why they emphasize it. But they forget that Jesus died for the Palestinians, died for the Israelites, died for all.
All right, guys. So now Dr. Abel is actually of the opinion that Israel is no longer important in God's plan now because they are no longer considered the people of God as the scriptures quoted them to be back in the Old Testament. But let us also try to go back into the scriptures and try to find out, why is this? Is this true? If you agree, why do you agree? Did the scriptures, or do the scriptures that we do have this understanding from, do the scriptures really confirm this? I think Dr. Abel is right. Dr. Abel is right. According to what he's quoting, which is what is recorded in the Bible, Jesus Christ, during the time when Jesus Christ came, before he came or before he would come. The reason, in fact, the reason why the Jews were used in the scriptures or in the Bible was because of the line of Abraham. Remember, God had a covenant with Abraham. It was going to be from the line of Abraham that the Savior who was to redeem the world from sin was to come. And so, because of that, because of this plan God had for humanity, God was looking for someone whom he could use, through whom the Christ could come. And it had to be someone who believed in him, who knew he existed, whom he had a relationship with. That's where Abraham came in. So Abraham became God's friend because he expressed faith in God. The book of Galatians chapter 4 tells us about Abraham, how he had faith in God. So Abraham became God's friend because of faith. And at the time after Abraham had taken his son Isaac to sacrifice at Moriah, God said he was going to bless Abraham indeed. So he made a covenant with him that it was through his children that Abraham was going to have many children as the stars of the sky. All right. Now, it was because of this faith that Abraham expressed in God that God gave him this promise. And so it was expedient for God, because he's a promise keeper. Whatever word he gives, he always lives to it. He always accomplishes it. God kept to that promise. And so from Abraham came Isaac. And from Isaac came Esau and Jacob. And then the line of Jacob was furthered in God's plan. And so Jacob gave birth to the 12 tribes, and the 12 tribes gave birth to their own children. And now we have 12 tribes of Israel. And so Israel, everything Israel, all the people of Israel came from this one person, Jacob. And Jacob had a covenant also with God. And God promised that his children were also going to be. So it was through the children of Jacob that Israel came to be, from Abraham down to Jacob, and from Jacob, the children of Jacob came to be. That was where Israel increased in number, that they began becoming a nation after coming out of Egypt. So when they came out of Egypt, become the people of God. So God made all of these things, God made covenants with them. From the time of Moses, he made a covenant and gave them a law to be guided by that law. And so everything the Israelites did, it was in the presence of God, and God was referring to them as his people. Why was God calling them his people at the time? It was because he had a plan to bring out a Messiah who was going to redeem mankind from sin. And when the fullness of time came, Jesus Christ was manifested. So he was born by a Jewish woman. So he came, it was through the Jews, because it had to be through the Jewish people. And not only that, it had to be through the line of the King David. So all of these things happened. Jesus Christ came from the line of David. He eventually took to his ministry after his 30th year on earth and started his ministry. He fulfilled the law by dying on the cross and resurrected. And now he has called everyone. And because of that, now the promise had been fulfilled. God now had said that every man, in fact, God didn't start saying it in the New Testament. God said it back in the Old Testament, in the book of Isaiah, that he had stretched his hand to a people who were stiff-necked and hard-hearted, and none reached out to him. And then he was going to make a people out of those who were not called earlier his people. So this was the thing that happened. And because of that, since now by Jesus Christ, the promise had been fulfilled with Israel, now the Bible tells us in the book of Romans and also in the book of Galatians, Galatians 3 talks about this. It says, now those who are of faith in Jesus Christ are those who are now called the children of Abraham. So, having said that, remember that all of these things started because of Abraham the father. And so because of Abraham, no one now is going to be a child of Abraham just because of genealogy. Now, that's before God. Genealogically, they can say, okay, we are Israelites because we descend from Abraham. But in the plan of God, the children of Abraham now are those who are of faith in Jesus Christ, as the book of Romans and Galatians has stated, that those who are of faith in Jesus Christ are now the children of God. So, number one point that Dr. Abel DAMINA gives there is true. The Israelites are no longer the people of God as it used to be in the Old Testament. Why are they no longer the people of God? They are no longer the people of God now because the promise made to Abraham had been fulfilled. God has now chosen to adopt a children that are of Abraham, giving Abraham wider range of children than just the Jews alone. The Jews are just a tiny nation out of the whole world. But now God chooses to give Abraham children above just one nation. He wants to give the whole world to Abraham. That everyone who believes in Jesus Christ by receiving him as Lord and Savior has now automatically become a child of Abraham. And because of that, no one will be the son of Abraham anymore because of genealogy before God, but only because of faith in Jesus Christ. So now, because of that, Israel, according to God's plan, is no longer the people of God, as the scriptures had said in the Old Testament. But now, instead, the people of God are those who are of faith in Jesus Christ. So it's not just Jews alone, it is the Gentiles. Palestinians are included. The Jews too are included if they receive Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. Nigerians are accepted. Russians are accepted. Whoever it is, Ghanaians are accepted everywhere around the world. Anyone who received Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior has now automatically become a child of Abraham, not because of genealogy, but because of their faith in Jesus Christ. All right, so you've heard it, guys. That's actually the truth about all of this. Israel now is no longer the people of God as we suppose in the scriptures. The people of God, or the children of Abraham now that are accepted before God, are those who are of faith in Jesus Christ. Because automatically they become the children of God because of faith. Just like Abraham became a friend of God or came closer to God because of his faith in God, so also has God made us now the children of Abraham, who is the father of faith, because of our faith in Jesus Christ, which is God's finished work for the salvation of mankind's sin. I hope you've been blessed by this video. If you feel this is not really so clear for you, or you still have some questions, I will appreciate it if you drop a comment in the comment section below so that we can talk about this more. And if you have any video on your mind that you really want me to talk about, please talk to me about it down in the comment section. I'll be down there to see your comments. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, until I bring another video your way again, see you soon.